Hey, yo, Pittsburgh! What happened tonight, baby? What happened tonight? Y'all were talking all that crap the other night, and what happened tonight? Look, this is Philly. When we get knocked out, we get our asses back up. Y'all should have learned this by now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Flyers versus Penguins recap. Let's go! That is right. Welcome everyone, it is your boy El Parcero Philly, the uniter of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And I don't even know where to begin here. What an absolutely crazy game that we saw here. This is Flyers and Penguins, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I love this rivalry here. You never know what is going to happen. But you know one thing for sure, you're going to get some goddamn physicality. Someone's going to get smacked around. And that is exactly what happened here tonight. We had 7 goals. The Flyers were in a huge hole, dug their asses out of it, and close your room! Close your room! Oh my God. Let's get into this, guys. So, alright, look, flat out, this game did not start off in the way we wanted to. First off, before the game even started, Joel Farabee was a late scratch as he tested, or he, I guess, tested positive for COVID. He was placed on the COVID protocol list. And we would be without him for this game. And we all know that Joel Farabee was playing so well, even though we lost on Tuesday night. We lost against the Pittsburgh Penguins in a bad one, 5-2. That first line with Sean Couturier, JVR, and Joel Farabee, those guys came to play. That was one of the only bright spots that we had on Tuesday night. So getting that news right before puck drop was a huge blow. Because like I said, that first line, I expected AV to continue with that line, just take her with some of the other lines, but flat out, it was definitely a surprise. Definitely a surprise for all of us not seeing Joel Farabee not playing out there. Also, too, we did not get Carter Hart in this game as expected. We all called that. We all saw that coming. We saw Brian Elliott get the start here tonight, and actually it was a pretty solid night for Brian Elliott. So the lines tonight, with obviously the news of Joel Farabee, AV had to get a little bit creative. That top line was now JVR, Coots, and Jakub Voracek instead of Joel Farabee. Second line, you had Lutz, Hayes, and TK. TK getting bumped up there. Actually, that line last year worked dividends last year in the bubble, so it was a good line to see returning back this season. Third line. The third line. You had Oscar Lindblom, Claude Giroux, and Nicholas Ube-Kubel. I guess his new nickname is Q. I heard G calling him Q throughout the game, so we got a new nickname for Nicholas Ube-Kubel, and well-deserved. We'll get to that second. The fourth line, you had Connor Bunnaman, Nolan Patrick, and Michael Raffel. We'll get to them as well. We'll get to all of it. Defensive pairings, you had Provy with Justin Braun. Vigneault changing up the defensive pairings as well. You had Sanheim and Braun, Haig and Ghost as your third defensive pairing. And so obviously, beginning of the game did not go the way that we all intended it for the Flyers. The Penguins would score 3 goals in the matter of 71 seconds in the first 4 minutes of this game. Oh man, I didn't get to watch the start of this game. We had some Philly Sports Network duties to attend to, so I missed the puck drop. I got into it near the midway through the third period, watching the game, but I get the notification and I see 3-0 Pittsburgh on top of the Philadelphia Flyers. It was the Jared McCann goal, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, what? Like, this cannot be happening. After what happened on Tuesday night, this cannot be happening. The Chris Letang goal, to me, what I saw on the ice, Michael Raffel just was being a little too aggressive on a forecheck, and he left Chris Letang opened near the blue line, and he just risked that bad boy, and it redirected off of Sanheim's glove, and that would get the first goal. Second goal, Mark Friedman, who we talked about a little bit in the previous game recap. The revenge that he has a little grudge going on with the Flyers. He gets a little taste of revenge with his goal, the second goal there. It was a nice little smart play. The puck just somehow finds him, and he just is smart enough to just slide that bad boy down Brian Elliott's 5-hole, and then the third goal with Jared McCann and Kapanen, man. Kapanen really killed us there as well. So now you're down 3-0, right? And Ali Mignot has to call a timeout, and that is when, ladies and gentlemen, the momentum would change for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers would, with that timeout, and when you saw AV on that timeout, he was calm. He wasn't yelling at these guys. He wasn't chewing them out. He was just like, hey, guys, let's just get back to our game. Breathe. Keep it simple. Let's go play Flyers hockey. Go be a fucking Flyer, right? So we are we're 9 minutes left into the first period. Flyers on the power play. I believe it was the second power play for the Flyers. No, it was only the first power play because we only had 2 opportunities. So on the first power play opportunity, unit's going well. They're keeping the puck in the zone. Pittsburgh really has no answer for it. TK with a nice pass from the other side of the ice finds Coots. Coots with a nice little slap shot. JVR screens Jari. Jari could not even see the puck, and boom, right in the top right-hand corner. Perfect timing for a goal. You got yourself in that hole. Let's get out of it. You get out of the first period with now down 3-1. It makes your jobs a little bit easier heading into the second period. Second period, Flyers continue, and literally the next 2 periods, the Flyers would keep the same game plan. They wanted to outgrind, outwork, get Pittsburgh as tired as possible, and lay the goddamn wood, and that is exactly what happened. They stuck to that game plan, and Pittsburgh really, they slowly but surely started losing their momentum, and they had no answer for this Flyers team. Claude Giroux would get a nice little rebound from Oscar Lindblom's shot. They were both right there near the net. It was a terrible defending by Pittsburgh, and Claude Giroux would get that rebound past Jari, getting the 3-2 goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. And now we're heading into the third period, down 3-2. Flyers were not phased. They were going to stick with this game plan, and they were going to keep going forward. Then in the third period, the Flyers would tie the game with 7 minutes left into the third period. Claude Giroux would risk a shot, and Scott Lawton would get that little deflection in, and you get the game tire right there. And at that moment, it was like, what? What the heck just happened? And G is looking like vintage G. And then literally, we had 4 minutes later, we would get the game-winning goal with 3 minutes left into the period. And Claude Giroux would get his. And this play literally was set up by Nicolas Aube-Kubel, who went past Jari, and great anticipation knowing that Claude Giroux would be right behind him. He would get with a backhand pass, nutmegs a Pittsburgh Penguins defender, finds Claude Giroux. Giroux literally did the best to keep with the puck, and that puck would just glide off the stick and get into the net, and the Flyers would get the lead off of that. After allowing 3 goals in the first 4 minutes, the Flyers would come all the way back to win 4-3. Ladies and gentlemen, are you not entertained? Philadelphia, you have been treated to some good sports this week. Last night, the Sixers absolutely take it to the Jazz in an instant classic between 2 first-place teams in the NBA. Joel Embiid is giving you MVP content out here, MVP entertainment, and tonight, the Flyers against one of the teams you hate the most. It is the Dallas Cowboys. It is the Boston Celtics. It is the New York Red Bulls. It is the New York Mets. It is the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Flyers come back 3-0 to stick it to the Penguins 4-3. It's a great night. You can't get me down from this. You flat out can't get me down from this. But we got to do our due diligence and highlight some people here. And of course, before I forget, I know I'm going to forget. I want to talk about the goalie situation. I know it's not probably where you were thinking I'm going to go, but I want to get this out of the way because I'm a little concerned, quite honestly. As a Flyers fan, I am a little concerned. I understand that this is a business, but it's just for me as a Philly sports fan, and I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but it's just the way that my Philly sports brain works. I just went through the bullcrap that Carson Wentz went through. Now, granted, I know the Flyers are not the same organization that the Philadelphia Eagles are. Chuck Fletcher is not the same incompetent idiot yet that Howie Roseman is right now. And seeing the way the Eagles handle Carson Wentz, the franchise quarterback, the young franchise quarterback here in Philadelphia, a position that we don't get really elite players in that position often here in Philadelphia, we allow that situation to crumble. Now, we move on to the ice, and you got a potential young franchise goaltender here. And right now, he's going through a little bit of what we like to call somewhat, I know it's his third, I guess we can call it a junior slump. Excuse me. And so, we do know that when Carter Hart has a bad game, Vigneault typically benches him. And unfortunately, more times this season than usual, Carter Hart is not having good games. So, it's a little bit of a concern for me. Now, the question is, because Brian Elliott did play good, really played well, I'm sorry. And Brian Elliott is one of the reasons why we won this game. Those 3 goals that Pittsburgh got, that was the team. And that is one of the issues as well. It feels as if like Carter Hart is just in the bad situation at the bad time. Because in that first period, literally what was happening all throughout the game on Tuesday night. And because Brian Elliott's in goal, and Brian Elliott has two, no, you know what? He had 2.5 good periods. Flat out, he had 2.5 good periods. And there's only so much that he can do on those 3 goals. But when I'm thinking about Carter Hart, it is a little bit of concern because you're thinking about a young goalie and his psyche. You know, even in my lifetime, we all remember Steve Mason. Now I know it's not the same circumstances, but Steve Mason, before he got here to Philadelphia, guy was the rookie of the year. And look what happened to him. I mean, he didn't have the career that I thought he was going to have after that first season. So, definitely going to keep an eye on it. I don't expect as Siri's thinking I'm talking to her. I don't expect Carter to start on Saturday. Quite honestly, you're turning back around on an afternoon Saturday game, and then you have a back-to-back on Sunday as well. I think Carter is going to play on Sunday, but I think that Vigneault is going to finish this road trip out here with Brian Elliott on Saturday. Claude Giroux. We have to talk about Claude Giroux. Claude, what a great... This was one of those vintage games. He did, there was that Devils game earlier on the year where he really contributed, and I think he had 1 or 2 goals in it. But this game right here, look, he played alongside Nicolas Aube-Kubel and Oscar Lindblom. He said it himself, he never played with that line combination. And he kept it simple. He kept it simple with those guys. Those guys are typically guys who just want to skate towards the net, go up and down the ice, skate towards the net, crash the net, and he made it work with those guys. He put those guys in the best possible situations, and it worked. That line accounted for 3 goals. That second goal, the Lawton goal, obviously that was he was in there. It was just he was just there. He was just there on the ice, but he came big on that second goal there. But you want to see that from your captain. And it's crazy. Like he still gets the slander after all these years. Claude still gets the slander. The Claude haters certainly can be silenced tonight for sure, because he definitely was. He was the player of the game. He really was the player of the game. He put the team on his back tonight. And tomorrow night's gonna be or Saturday afternoon's gonna be someone else. But tonight it was certainly Claude Giroux. I want to talk about Mark Friedman. I really want to talk about Mark Freeman because it is such an interesting situation. Obviously, we know that he got waived after the Lake Tahoe game. The Ron Hextall and the Pittsburgh Penguins picked him up. Obviously, Hextall drafted Mark Friedman, so the Flyers are going to let him go. He was going to pick him up flat out, and he did. Tuesday night, It started a little bit. Michael Raffel got into it a little bit with Mark Friedman. Mark Friedman came out and stated he spilled some tea. He pulled some Orlando Scandrick BS but this time with the Flyers, talking about some locker room stuff. Like that is some rat shit. I'm sorry, but if you go from one team to another and then you want to come out to the media and spill in some tea, some dirt, like that's some rat shit. Like, be a professional. It didn't work out. Like, hey, I just enjoyed my time here. That's it. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out in Philly, flat out. But to me, that's just like that. No, I'm not beat for that. I'm really just not beat for that type of stuff. So it is what it is. Mark Freeman would get after that Tuesday game. Mark Freeman did get an assist in that game, but he still wanted some revenge here. He got his goal. That definitely helped him satisfy his taste of a little revenge. And then as well, after that, it was not pleasant. Everyone, it seemed like, took a shot at him. I think Kevin Hayes took a shot at Friedman. Nolan Patrick and him went at it about 3 times, and Nolan Patrick would wind up knocking him out of the game after a Nolan Patrick forecheck on Freeman. They didn't appreciate. A couple minutes later, in the neutral zone, he was going to go and try to lay that wood on Nolan Patrick. But Nolan Patrick's like, what, 6'4", 6'5"? He's like between 6'4" and 6'6". Mark Friedman, he puts his head down, and his head is literally hitting his shoulder, and all Nolan Patrick had to do was just shimmy his shoulder, and Mark just literally slapped the ice, and he was done for the game. Now look, all jokes aside, I do hope he's okay. This is a game. There are human lives that are, at risk here, and I do hope that Mark Freeman is okay. But his head didn't hit the ice, so I just think that he's got a little bit of the wind knocked out of him. I think he will be fine. But I really would love to know what actually happened in the locker room. Why is it that mostly the Flyers didn't like Mark Friedman? I just would like to know. That's some tea that I would actually like to sip on. So that was definitely something to talk about. But Nolan Patrick overall, look, he's doing a lot of the little things this season. I know the stat sheet is not speaking for itself, but this is one of those games where, he was getting after it on the forecheck. Again, like we just mentioned, he added some physicality to the game. He was putting guys in good situations. And sometimes if you're not lighting up the stat sheet, do the other little things. Do something. Do something on the ice. Don't just stand around there. So I'm happy that he's starting to figure it out, and hopefully the goals and the assists, all that will come, because you know me, I'm still a Nolan Patrick stan. Speaking of guys who need to get out of it, TK in that second period, it looked like he was starting to get back to that TK that we all love and we know he can be. He was being aggressive. He had 2 opportunities with some nice little wrist shots. They just hit the pipe, hit the woodwork, and that was so tough. But being able to see TK just still being aggressive, getting those pucks on net, that's what I want to see from TK. I think I'm going to say here, I predicted the next game on Saturday he will get his goal, because he definitely deserved it after today. He was looking for it, but it just didn't happen. Look, flat out, this was a great win. And I know a lot of people want to ask, is this the game that will kind of catapult the Flyers onto the run as we're getting closer to the end here of this shortened NHL season? But just like the way the Flyers handled this game, the Flyers just took what was in front of them. Don't worry about the third period when you're still in the first period, right? And that's when they got the goal. Take it game by game, week by week. This is a very, very tough East division that we have right now. Like the standings literally just changed today. Right now, the Washington Capitals just jumped back into first place. The Islanders are now in second place. We just jumped up into third place, and Boston just fell to fourth, with Pittsburgh still sitting in fifth place. So, and I mean, the Rangers are just a good week away from getting themselves back into this race as well. So for the Flyers, this is a great win, but for me, it's more telling for the Flyers, like saying that, look, we got this. No matter what situation we're in, no matter how deep of a hole there is, we know we can get this done. Just take it game by game, period by period, shift by shift. I really love what's going on right now with the Flyers. both the Sixers and the Flyers are giving us great winter sport entertainment right now, and the city of Philadelphia needs it. And it's going to be perfect to warm everyone up for what's going to come in the summertime with the Philadelphia Phillies and the Philadelphia Union. I'm excited, guys. Guys, we beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. After being down 3-0, we came back and took this game 4-3. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel great. Thank you so much if you watched up to this point, guys. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel to help your favorite parcero grow here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys next Saturday. We got the Flyers versus Penguins Part 3 at 1 o'clock. Until next time, I'm your boy El Parcero Philly, and I'm telling you guys, let's go Flyers! Talk to you soon.